Hey everybody, it's Father Edward Looney here, and I am coming at you with another Christian take on a Christmas movie. It's something I've noticed. I shared about this already, kind of how the Christmas movie storyline kind of mirrors the story of the Incarnation. And I think we can look at a lot of different Christmas movies as well and see the Christian story in them or allusions to it, or it can kind of lead us to a deeper reflection about the movie and about our life as followers of Jesus. And today I want to share a little bit about the movie Polar Express. Polar Express is a movie that I actually just watched this year. I don't think I'd watched it previously. I remember though as a kid, my grandma had the book, Polar Express. And it was there. She had it in her nightstand. I would bring it out every Christmas, look at it. But I don't think I ever saw the movie, or now as an adult I've seen it, and maybe it's more meaningful to me. Polar Express was on my mind a little bit because our students at Sacred Heart, they watched the movie as part of a movie night right before Thanksgiving. And it was really to probably amp them up for the Christmas parade and our float that our PI group, Partners in Education, put together, the Polar Express. So I watched the movie so I could understand what it was about. And it's one of those movies that as you watch it, my mind as a believer is already beginning to think about the different Christian themes. So just think about the Polar Express for a second. It's a train summoning these young people to go to the North Pole. They get on the train. They are passengers. They're going to the North Pole. Well, immediately I begin to think about the train that leads us to eternal life, to the kingdom of heaven. And that train, maybe we could call it the church. You know, the church fathers have talked about the church as being a ship, and the ship is leading us to the port of heaven. But maybe with the Polar Express, the church is a train. You have to have a ticket to get on the train, and the conductor puts messages on the ticket, stamps the message in there. But what's our ticket on the train? Our ticket is the sacraments. Our greatest ticket is the gift of the Holy Eucharist that Jesus gave us on the night of the Last Supper. That in John chapter 6, he teaches the apostles, whoever eats my body and drinks my blood will have life forever. That's a ticket to everlasting life. What's another ticket to everlasting life? Confession gets us there, removes sin, serious sin, important to confess it. Baptism is our ticket to everlasting life. That is the first ticket where God has made that promise of eternal life to us and adopted us as his royal sons and daughters. So you have the ticket on the Polar Express to the North Pole. We have our tickets to heaven with the sacraments of the church. There's also in the Polar Express that scene where the little boy, he's a little hesitant to get on, and the other one goes and he tries to get him on the train. Sometimes aren't we a little hesitant to follow Christ, and we need a little nudge in order to follow him? And then, think about this. So as they're going to the North Pole, they are stopped. Caribou are all over the train tracks. And maybe we say, what's stopping us on the journey to the kingdom of heaven? You know what could be stopping us? Our friends. They could be stopping us. Maybe they're holding us back from fully giving our lives to the Lord. What else could be holding us back? Different things that we enjoy, maybe we're unwilling to let go of. They're stopping us from the kingdom of heaven. So that was just a little point of reflection for me, seeing those caribou on the tracks, making the Polar Express stop. In my own journey to heaven, they're being stopped on their journey to the North Pole. What's stopping me, preventing me from moving forward in that journey to God's everlasting kingdom? Okay, now, still on the train, still on the Polar Express, what's the next thing that happens? The train derails. It derails on the ice. Well, what derails us on our journey to the kingdom of heaven? Well, it's sin. Sin is what derails us. And sometimes when we sin, Maybe that sin leads us even to other sins. Maybe that sin derails us so much that we stop praying, that we stop trusting in God's love and God's mercy. And so sin derails us. It's what I thought of when I saw the derailment in the Polar Express. And then you get to the North Pole. And as they arrive there, it was curious to me, the time at the North Pole was always 5 minutes before midnight. It was almost as if time was eternal. We talk about heaven. There is no beginning, no end. It's eternity. And so I thought, well, eternity is being mirrored here a little bit in the North Pole. You have Santa's elves. Aren't those like the disciples? Aren't we little elves for Jesus? Aren't we disciples for Jesus? There's virtues that are highlighted there in the North Pole. And what was the whole journey to the North Pole all about? It was because they lacked faith. They didn't believe in Santa Claus. They gave up on Santa. They didn't have their picture taken with Santa. And maybe for us right now, it's, well, I haven't been to church. I haven't prayed. I haven't done these things. And so we go to church and we see it. We open the Word and we hear the voice of Jesus, just as these young people heard the voice of Santa Claus at the North Pole. I think there's some parallels there that we can draw upon, especially for our Christian life. That the Polar Express could really be compared to our journey to the kingdom of heaven, our tickets to eternal life. So if you watch the Polar Express during these days leading up to Christmas, maybe pay attention to what you're watching. Begin thinking about it. What's this saying about my Christian life, my life as a believer? See if you find those same things, or maybe there's something I missed. Are you ready to have your ticket stamped on the Polar Express, or should we call it the Heavenly Express?